details in business are important. If your team's sloppy, if they are messy, if they don't tidy up, then this makes working together very difficult. A bit like finding this last piece. Where is it? Come on, there it is. There it is. There it is. Alright, so that piece, that piece, that piece, and then here, my little wheelie pit. So many pieces. One of the interesting insights that I've had is that when you run processes or you run a system, there will be things created from that system a lot of the time. Perhaps it's just that stuff got done, like if you're doing the moving the money in the accounts, and at the end of the day there's less money in that account, there's more money in the other account, and so that might not be trackable. But for a lot of the time, there'll be actual assets, digital assets or physical assets that are created, and tracking these is very beneficial as well. Oh man, you gotta be kidding me. Like, just having to go through and look for this part. There it is, there it is, there it is, there it is. Okay, alright, next part is my shooty bit. I'm gonna lock that on. Okay, and I'm getting some traction here. So these wings are coming together pretty well. Pretty happy with the wings. They are like a easy system. I can see all the parts, I can get insights, but the more complicated middle part really does represent business systems that are not so easy, more complicated systems. I was building a deadline webinar funnel. So this used a tool called Deadline Funnel. Really great tool, amazing technology. Head over to deadlinefunnel.com for that. Combining it with a webinar and then having that roll through. And so that actually ended up being something like the webinar creation system. There was 2 email sequences and 2 deadline funnels. There might have even been a 3rd email sequence. So you've got 6 systems that come together to actually make up this final conglomeration of a deadline funnel. And I feel like this middle bit really looks like deadline funnel webinar. And if you had the instructions though, if you had the capacity just to follow step by step, like this, step by step, then at the end of those steps, there would be a deadline webinar funnel. And certainly I've had the experience in terms of automations where I haven't tracked my automations well and suddenly things are going left, right, and center. And this really comes through to the idea that simplicity is great, but the capacity to do more powerful things often requires you to move beyond the simple. Something like that. Something like that. Wow, look at all these missing parts. How does this fit together? How the heck does this fit together? Very crazy. Oh wow, could it be that those bottom ones aren't actually even that piece? Oh, goodness. Like that, if that goes on there, I've got no way to shoot it. It's definitely a shooting thing. How does it launch? I'm not going to break it. Oh, hang on, there it is. Maybe if I... Oh. Okay, you pull down on the base of it and it shoots it. Alright, so It does look like it sits where that piece goes. Okay, great. Okay, so that sits there. They give me another one. I'll go retrieve that bullet at some point. And I believe I may well be approaching the limits of what's possible in this build. Like, there's so many structural parts missing that how this all comes together. Like, look how many pieces there are still undone. And this, at the end of this, is really the power of the instructions. The power of having the instructions just makes this all possible. And instead of this that I've got, I would end up with that. So I don't know if there's any other moves that I can make here. I feel like I'm kind of in a mahjong experience where it's like, okay, there are possibly some moves here. I've got these two red ones, but they must be structural for the wings, perhaps. I don't know. Like, it's like, how does this come together? What the heck is going on? I just don't see. Okay, there's that piece. Okay, there's that. Okay, so I can build a little bit more of these engine bits potentially. And there's presumably a bunch of these, and maybe I need something with 4. 1, 2. So I'm just guessing. Like, you can see how much guesswork has to go in to actually creating this stuff in order to even, or maybe it goes like that. Okay, yep, that could go there, into there, and then this bit goes in there. Oh no, it doesn't. Oh, that's one of those. Okay. No. Okay, maybe they're all Technic bits. Oh, maybe it just sticks on and there's nothing at all. Okay, yeah, that's cool. That works. And then these cool purple things. Although it does look like they maybe stick out a bit more. Not sure. Don't see anything particularly that's going to stick out. So, I don't know. That could be an error. And how you even stick them on in the first place. But, okay, so I could build that out a couple more times. Let's go ahead and do that just to remove some more pieces. And where am I at? I don't know. It's going to be really interesting to see the time taken for this entire thing. And my next step will be to build it with the instructions. And then we'll go through, get another video for actually putting it together as with the instructions. And just see, I'm really curious about how close I was with the front piece. I felt like there was some real wins in there as I went along. How that leg ski bit works is a little bit beyond me. Let me have a look at the front bit. I mean, presumably it's something to do with these ski things. These ski things, I've got 2 of those though, so maybe not. I don't know if there is any back ski legs bits. It doesn't really show. Hang on, here's a third one. So maybe there likely is a third piece at the back. I don't know how they do that though. So we'll have to wait and see for that build. Okay, and I'm coming along with my rocket blasters here. We'll do that third one there just for completeness, just to see where I can get to. These were the front bits. Oh no, that bit there. And there. It's really incredible what they can do though. Like, how did the people come up with this? Like, remembering what I'm trying to go through here and build it. And I know that all the pieces are here. But even with that, this is a daunting experience to work out how all these seeming disparate parts would actually come together into a Lego thing that works. It's close to a miracle, really. So it'd be fun to be those guys. They must play around a lot, and presumably there are bits and pieces that they've worked out how to do. Let me see if we've got some more. Or maybe, oh goodness, maybe those are all at the front. Okay, I think these are all at the front, so I've messed that up. And now that might make a bit more sense with these wheels at the back. Okay, okay, yep, that makes more sense. And it looks like that, so I need some way of sticking these in there. Nope. Oh, wait, although that seems likely. Okay, I think that's going to work. Okay, good. Then into there. Nice. Okay. These little wins are just really cool. Really cool. If you're like thinking about doing a blind Lego challenge, then, okay, great. Yeah. Then my recommendation is to go with something simpler than this. That has been a clear lesson out of this entire experience, that the difficulty of this has been too great. That certainly at my level of Lego building, that a 9+ Star Wars way beyond my skill set. And that particularly without the instructions, I really can't do this. I don't think I'd have to go back to Duplo. Like, it's been really cool to get some of the wins, but how they get the internals working is probably the big thing that I'd love to look at. So that will be the next one when I talk through and go through the build. And fascinating to see the time frames, particularly how quick it is with the processors. Okay, and that one there. Okay, cool. I'm feeling, yeah, that is cool. Okay, I got some rear engines. Pretty sure this is on point for those rear engines. Okay, that they look really good. They look awesome. So that's going to be the front bit. And then I suppose like somehow it goes through there. That is not clear how that actually happens. Do I see anything else that could work? I don't think so. I really don't. I think I'm at about the limit of what can be done. There's clearly some serious Technic build in the middle of this. Whatever goes in here is seriously a big Technic build. And I think that it's going to operate these wings, but how do I even begin that? If I could just have the instructions, fine. But to look at this and just go, wow, okay, well, I mean, maybe it's not bad. I'm pretty stoked with how far it's come. It's not bad from a outcome perspective. What else do we need to do here? Is there any other wins that I can come up with? Just checking it over for a last one. I really don't think I can do much more. Maybe I can see that there's all of these bits that go over the top, but without the structure there, I'm stuck. I think that's about it. Hey, thanks so much for joining me on this blind Lego challenge. If you want to give it a go, then definitely jump in. If you are awesome at Lego, then go with more difficult ones. If you are about my standard, where you're like, oh cool, there's some wins, but there's a lot of guesswork, how does this all turn into that? I mean, the only way to do this is to have the instructions. So join me soon for the next episode where I will pull all of this apart and we'll start from scratch. The disadvantage will be that all 4 bags will be mixed up together, but we'll have the clock running and just see how long it takes. Thanks so much for tuning into today's blind Lego challenge. I hope you got a lot out of it. I hope you experienced the breakthroughs as I went through it, and really looking forward to seeing the answer book, as it were, as we go through and bust out all 106 pages and build this X-Wing. All right, thanks so much for tuning in. My name's Tom Rolley for systemio.dev. See you again next time.